Okay. Is it on?
I love my main song. Oh. Hey, Chad. Can y'all
hear me? It's not focusing right now. Okay. Woo!
Okay.
What's up, Chad?
Words.
And Coochie Zombie,
how you guys been?
Woo!
Pizza rolls so hot, I put them in heat.
Man, where to have a mute button? Alright, Chad, so we might have to, what he really did in minutes to, like, here. X that shit out. Sorry about that. It has to just go all the way back. We've had time to play Genshin, you know. Alright. So let's go ahead and watch some EVO. Shall we, chat? I think. Guess I have to watch Guilty Gear Strive, huh? Mortal Kombat 11, Street Fighter 5. You know what? I could go ahead and watch Multi-Blood right now. Are they streaming Multiverses? Oh no. Oh no. When are they streaming Multiverses? Hold on. Oh, they play Soul Calibur? So Spooky's off streaming KOF 15. Also heard Pokemon. Also heard Pokemon was coming to EVO. There he is. I don't mind watching that. Not a platform gamer itself.
hell?
It's on. I might have to watch some Grand Blue. Wait, is Grand Blue? Oh, Melting Blood. My bad. Oh, the volume. My bad, Chad.
Just don't get caught.
Yeah, this time, like, being on the aggressor side, using Moondrive to kind of keep Shiny Espeon into the corner here.
Dragon Ball Fires. Oh, Dragon Ball Fires is next? Okay.
And actually being able to, like, get some damage here to continue.
Ooh, got a failed counter in the air, so got a little bit more damage because of that. And then another heat.
Little catches with the Black Key there, just going to go right into the...
Yeah, get as much damage as you can. Go ahead and use that stab. So, I mean, obviously Shiny Espeon's still in it, but at a pretty big life deficit. However, they have a lot more magic circuit than Kraken Atkins. Oh, didn't finish the combo, but picks it back up.
Yeah, also just finished up the Moondrive, in fact, so uses 1 EX of level on that. Trying to get a setup on that. Okay, again, there's the activation burst, kind of getting the health back.
Yeah, okay, does this...
I don't know why I got echo sounds. Stuff like that. Might have to do this again, see what happens.
Oh, that's weird.
Last start.
Oh, going to get punished for that, but does have access to double downs now. Going to pay for it with the health cost, though.
Yeah, pay for it a lot. So now, Tono out of Moon, out of Magic Circuit. Kraken Atkins is in a much better position. Goes ahead and uses their Moon activation to go ahead and keep taking this.
They try to super jump into the low. Doesn't reach its mark here, but still going to get the hit, get the win here. Kraken Atkins winning.
Moving on.
Not
And I
bad.
wish you can see it in his cheekbones. He is smiling.
Oh, he got a bike in.
He really
He got a
is.
bike in
Like
like
seeing us like going from these
I like it.
these offline tournaments, like start like seeing the facial expressions underneath the mask, and it's like, yeah, he's just super happy with the performance.
He is. I mean, I know that he's been working hard, both online and offline. So to be able to see that work pay off has been really, really great.
Oh yeah, and definitely this is where you have to show it off. This is where you have to make your mark in Melty Blood, especially
There's a girl I
get on
know.
that
Heard
stage
that
top
she
8.
plays
For
Blaze Blue.
sure. Because the cool thing is, you know, we have these
Cross tag.
really great side stages, but the main stage is pretty huge.
Oh yeah, it's like I was looking at it, it's like there's so much room up there. You can
So
do
much room
anything.
for activities.
Yeah, you could do like stage a musical. You can do whatever you want up there. Don't
You really
stage a
could.
musical up there, but not yet. Not yet. Wait till after.
Sure,
top
sure.
eight.
Definitely wait till after. But so far, just in case you are now joining us, we have had 4
Okay.
matches so far, which is Scrot, who's playing Mario.
Oh, seriously? Wonder what gives. Speaking of gives, I think someone gonna be in next view on as Skullgirls. So it's Girls. Let's go, right? Wonder what stuff they do with Skullgirls. It's about to. Is this about to start? Oh yeah, it's like 44 seconds.
FreshCut is the next generation creator content platform, redefining engagement between creators and the fans to help communities build and grow. Remember to catch all the highlights this weekend with the FreshCut EVO 2022 Best Moments playlist, live each day in the FreshCut.
Small developer of
Nope.
all the possible games that you could make. Why a fighting game? Yeah, you want to kick it off?
I mean, right what you know, right? Fighting games are my favorite games to play, and
General.
yeah.
We started off really early on, like 14 and 19, just trying to figure out what we wanted to do with our lives because we felt like we were stuck in a place, being in a family of 12, and just not having the resources and the capabilities of a lot of other people that we just felt like this is it. We have to decide what we want, and we wanted to make a fighting game in that moment, and it led us to this point. So it's awesome to be here.
Our whole team, really big fans of fighting games, as I'm sure everyone here is. For me, growing up, just being obsessed with all the artwork in every fighting game, looking at the booklets, if I could get booklets of the artwork, just led me to know, like, I'm going to make a fighting game eventually at some point. And then eventually had time to maybe start working on it, and Will the programmer at the same time, separately doing the same thing, and then eventually we got together and it all just came together. So
Yeah, I know we were indie developers ourselves for a little bit, and the hardest thing for us was all the ideas we had and fitting them into the schedule and finding the time to do it or finding the people to do it. Often it was just, in the beginning it was me and Tom in his office, and I was a programmer and he was everything else, right? How do you guys think about building what you want with the teams that you have and the resources you have? How do you manage that?
Yeah, so for Tough Love Arena, we're a 2-person team. I do programming and game design, and Amy does animation and kind of everything else. And it puts in some hard constraints. A big request we commonly get is to get more characters, and we only have one animator, and we're not done with the ones we have. So part of why we have Echo Fighters, we have 6 characters, but it's kind of 3 with clones. It was a cost decision. We can sort of double the roster by just changing 2 moves on. A big request we commonly get is on each character, and they play very differently. They have very different game plans. You know, in an ideal world, those would be 3 completely original characters, but you work with what you got.
For us, we've really learned how to lean into the experience and knowledge that our community has. You know, we as a dev team can only spend so much time seeing what else is out there, seeing what trends are popular, what people want out of a fighting game, but our community is going to tell us that. They're going to tell us what works in our game and what doesn't, and that's going to save us a lot of time in guesswork and experimentation and coding and recoding. So we really count on our community to give us the feedback to guide us to where we can use our resources most effectively with the limitations that we have.
For Five Force Fighters, when we first started off, we had a ton of different ideas, like from a magic system to having different types of combos. From it being a platform fighter, we had so many different ideas, but we dialed it down. We had to throw a lot of stuff away to get to the system that we have right now. But we knew that with our capabilities at the time, that we would have to just, you know, throw everything out there and, you know, jump on a Kickstarter to get the help that we needed to reach the game to its potential, that we were able to show it off here. So, yeah, it was very fun to see what we could do by ourselves, but it's even more awesome to like be able to outsource some of the stuff to reach what we wanted to see.
For us as a 3-person team, it's just very important that each of us take on the role and the role entirely. So, you know, Paul does all the music and the sound, and Will builds the engine and does all the gameplay design. I have to do all the art, animation, concept art, also marketing and many other things. But ultimately, as a small 3-person team, it's just important that everyone, you know, leads their roles confidently and takes control.
I think, yeah, that struggle is one of the hardest things, right? But one of the things that's special about being indie, I just thought of a follow-up question I'm going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop. Your games all have such unique character to them, and they're all so different, which is really interesting to me. So, like, what inspires you? What's your source of inspiration and well, it's just that. Like, how have you managed with a small team to make something that I think is so like speaks to each of like your own personalities or vibes? Would love to hear more about what inspires you.
I guess it's just we leaned into our strengths. I had my ideas of how I wanted to build this beginner, accessible on-ramp to 2D fighters game, but I didn't have any strong opinions about the aesthetic. And when I started collaborating with Amy, I told them, what do you want to do with this? What do you want to get out of making a video game? And they chose by their own description, this very indulgent, 2D, you know, goofy, stretchy, very distinct style that they enjoyed doing, that they had a lot of passion for and wanted to express themselves with. And, you know, they took it and ran with it. And similarly, I'm a big fan of this saying from this game designer Mark Rosewater, which is restrictions breed creativity. Yep. And likewise, when I started off with my beginner model and trying to figure out what I didn't want to have, it really let me focus on, well, the things that are important to me, like, say, neutral and footsies, like, I could spend a lot more time on those. And it paid off.
Yeah, for Rushdown Revolt, everything came back to that need for skill expression and to reward mastery to the player. And when we hit on our central cancel system called Spark that allows you to cancel anything into any character special, what makes each character really well defined in their niche within the genre. And so we just put a lot of time into, again, listening to our community, finding out what they want out of a platform fighter, because again, this space really has not been explored broadly. There's been a lot of depth in the platform fighter space in very similar styles of game. So we really wanted to challenge ourselves to go broader and see what things from the traditional fighter space, the anime fighter space, we could incorporate into a platform fighter that would really create something new and exciting?
Inspiration-wise, it was anything cool. Anything cool at the time, because I grew up playing a bunch of fighting games, RPGs, loving anime, and so that's what you see in Five Force Fighters. It's just like that high action, high energy. You know, the mic's not working. Type of fighting game. So it was just all.
I wonder what the chat's gonna say from the chat box on Twitch. That's a clip. That's the same. You would screw that. What are you about to say, chat? Chicken, Ken 8, Tekken 8, Terradrome. Oh yeah. Was it the Terradrome Rise of the Boogeyman? Like Terradrome 2? Tekken 8. They won Tekken 8. They won Tekken 8. What's up with the audio? Hold on.
It doesn't matter that I can play it on my phone. So we just launched on Steam like about a month or two ago, and I'm working on a similar sort of Android and iOS port. That to me will be the sort of finishing touch.
We are working super hard to gear up for finally moving out of the open alpha phase that we've been in for a good long while now and move properly into a beta where we can focus on refinement, visual polish, getting the game to a place where, you know, it's esports ready, it's able to support the competitive community that's hungry for more tournaments, more engagement, and to be able to release more characters. Actually, at our booth this weekend, we're showcasing an early build of our newest character, which is our take on what does a stance character look like in a platform fighter, and we've been putting a ton of hours into figuring out how that even works, how those animations can function in a platform fighter, and so we're super excited to get some feedback this weekend and then go back home and really work on putting those finishing touches in before we're able to move into that beta phase.
Yeah, I think we're kind of in a similar spot where we're trying to get out of the alpha stage and into the beta stage. Right now, we're really pushing to get our animations redone so they're slick and smooth, and ready for more people to get their hands on the game. A huge thing for us is trying to seek out a publisher and just get the game ready for that really release on consoles and things like that. That's what I'm excited for.
We have 2 new characters that we showed sort of portraits of that are in the works that we'd like to release soon. And Will, the programmer, has been working for a long time on a major overhaul of core systems and online, and that's going to be part of a much larger update that comes out to bring the game closer to the full scope.
Well, thanks everyone for coming out. Like, your games are, like I said, they've got so much character. We're really pulling for you. Excited to see what you do next. To close things out, like, for the people who are interested and want to find out more about your game, where can they go? How do they find out more?
Ours is easy. Tough Love Arena at toughlovearena.com. Just go to the website. We also are on Twitter, and we have a Discord and everything, but just go to toughlovearena.com. You can play the game, no installation, any computer or phone.
Bro, these Tekken fans, bro.
you can play 5 Force Fighters at our Patreon. It's the commissioner tier. You can find us at Kaizen Creed at all social media, Twitter, IG.
Sorry about the audio.
And TikTok. Everybody loves TikTok. And yeah, thank you for having us here, and it's awesome. I'm super excited.
Ah, come on.
There's nothing like
Ah,
spending
great.
a peaceful evening.
More ads.
Storming the castle.
Terrific.
Just pass it to me. I'm open. Come on.
Great, somebody's on the pitch. Wait, is that my freaking DoorDash?
How did he get out there?
A hot pretzel and an energy drink for James?
Yeah.
Project L never.
Never leave the game when you order with
Wait,
DoorDash.
did I hear anything about Project L? Like the League of Legends fighting game? Stupid network. Don't worry about the notification, chat. You can ignore that. Please excuse me. Oh, I didn't turn it on. Okay. Yeah, no wonder why it's an error. You can't watch EVO on YouTube, can you? I don't think you can watch EVO on YouTube. I mean, you can't watch multiverses. So let's see. It was Mortal Kombat 11. She is going live right now. Day one. Okay, we could get comfortable to react guilty gear.
Wake up 5K. 6H a little bit wide. Try to 2H anti-air, which is, I mean, the correct Twitch reaction, but Royal Flush able to quickly switch sides, pushing Cardboard Snake again towards the corner.
All right, getting some space here. Another thing I would like to see from Cardboard Snake is actually build up that blood, because if you can get some blood level,
Oh, there's a high track.
you can
That's
start
right.
challenging the butterfly with 5H. When you're at low blood like this,
Actually, I want to want Melty
Arc
Blood.
drive there.
Get that kill.
Yeah, it sure did, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Might as well finish it off. Like I
Sure did, didn't
yeah.
it?
Might as well finish it off. Like I guarantee kill after that. Might as well get 1 point on the board for Uru.
Yeah, so Uda doing really well here. Again, this is one of the players that people are watching and preparing to fight against. In the U.S., at least I know, as they were announcing that they were coming over to fight. But
Let me turn this volume down.
actually, Larn's doing a great job pressuring right now with those long-range skills from Glove. But good blocking out of Uda until he went for a low, and Larn was ready. Goes ahead and opens him right up.
One thing I've noticed from Larn, like the entire time, was he just like is ready to be patient, just like kind of like I'm gonna throw out the fireballs. I want to see what you can do on that, and like be able to catch. But misses on the recovery though.
Oh no! But activation move.
Oh!
Launch animation.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Damage here out from Uda. And then the heat in the air, and a heat in response, another shield, but just goes for the empty response. Gets a low afterwards. Yee boy! All right, boundary peak.
Here we go. And like, was that a triple overhead that I saw there?
Just Tono things.
Yeah, just Tono things. Tono everywhere.
Gandito versus Ryan Hart.
I like the aggression.
On Skullgirls, maybe?
Something that's very unique. It's not something that
I don't think
every game
it's
has.
Skullgirls.
So watching what people choose to do with that is very interesting. So watch
Can't
that
think of that.
as we continue through this bracket. But for right now, Uda making a great comeback here. I say comeback like he hasn't been winning, but I mean, to be fair, Larn had a big advantage in that first round.
Got a couple nice hits in there, but that's not to be like very strong round to finish it off. Ulu's going to be moving on here, and Larn. I mean, this is still winner side at this point here.
Yes, exactly.
Larn is still going to be having a chance down there, to trying to continue on that. One thing I was noticing about that was having some issues with trying to recover back, and Ulu being ready for it every time. Just like, I'm just going to get the hit. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to make you recover over and over and over again. And I'm going to make you panic. And it was just building up over time, especially in that first match.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you guys noticed in the background, but we had another very prominent Japanese player making their way. Jing. So Jing, another person that we've been talking about a lot. They were in the 10 a.m. pool. If you were not watching that, which, you know, honestly, I understand for some of you guys.
It's a little early for some. I understand.
Jing playing Hisui, and honestly was probably the scariest Hisui I've ever seen in my life.
It's precise, is what I like. When I've seen Jing play Hisui, it is like you get hit in the combo, you're gonna see this combo a lot, and because it's effective, it's optimal, it works really well, and they're just gonna have a lot of cake. They're just gonna have a lot of cake.
It's
just
set
a
up the
lot
cake,
of
get the
cake.
explosion.
And you know, I like the way you described the gameplay as precise, because it is. Earlier, Brett and I were talking about how it just really feels like.
Okay.
They're working through,
Oh,
and they
no,
understand all
no.
of the interactions with the different characters and how they are going to, you know, with, oh, I have a knockdown, I can do A, B, C, D, Q. This is the best for this situation. It just really feels like they run through that. But precise is such a good way to describe the way he plays, and it is going to be Jing, looking very sharp in the striped shirt with a nice blazer
who's
over
that?
it.
Very nice.
That's what's coming up next.
Button checks. So they're going to be playing against Infinity, who plays a Saber.
Okay,
This is their first series.
Off.
Okay, yeah. Infinity has made showings at I believe Combo Breaker, got top 8 in Combo Breaker, in fact, I believe. On that, but you don't see a whole lot of Saber players especially in high level multi-blood at the moment. So I'm really excited to see we had one in our last full block. I'm excited to see more. For sure.
Right. We had a Saber earlier in June Bear. We had one in my block in Nef Nef. But other than that, I mean, Saber, a very popular character from the Fate series, and she is also a really accessible character in Multi-Blood, so a lot of people do enjoy playing her. As we mentioned earlier, in certain modes, she does get a little bit more damage than the rest of the cast. She's also the only character that has 2 arc drives, which is very cool. So let's see how this turns out. Again, Infinity again against Jing. Immediate charge because Jing is choosing to use some of those moon skills starting off. And the precision begins.
Yeah, already into the corner. Set up the K. Go into the sky here. Yep, like, and gets in hit with it. Gets a little bit of a clipping. It just goes into a fatal counter throw afterwards. And it just doesn't stop.
No, I mean, I really do feel like once Jing starts, that's it. All right, we did get some nice blocking. However, this is an opening for Infinity. We get a nice Saber combo, get the knockdown, switches so that we're closer to the corner. Jing gets opened up low.
Yeah, he gets in, and it's amazing like how much that reaches actually to continue into the Rekka there. Like doing the offensive heat afterwards.
Okay, Jing blocking in there, gets a small overhead, but blocking sets up the dust.
Yeah, now you have to go back and forth there. You got to worry about that quite a bit with the dust. The dust does not go away immediately.
All right, multiple bentos set up. We did get a shield and got BC, so now Infinity is out of the corner. We're kind of resetting the neutral now.
So Infinity as Saber and Jing as Hisui, I think.
And I like the usage of shield that I'm seeing from Infinity here, especially just kind of waiting it out.
Which I could be correct.
Matter at this point because sometimes you throw.
That's figure out what was going on there from Infinity. We do get a heat, and Jing did get the knockback from that. A little bit of air pressure. We tech those.
Yeah, you got to keep a lot of like you want to make sure that you get away from the smoke dust at that point here. But no, at this point, there, Jamie's just getting all the damage that they can get.
Jing doing a good job pressuring in the corner now. Just got to borrow Magic Circuit so they can end this a little bit more powerfully if they would like. They've got full moon skill right now. Oh, we did get a moon drive activation. Unfortunately for Infinity, Jing was ready. Dust is set up. Moon drive in response. That intro in so long, and I forgot how cute it was. You want a plum sandwich? Sure, that sounds great. Fight!
Yeah, the glory that is fighting game intros.
Anime fighting game intros are like nothing else, especially in their inability to just say fight.
Yeah, no, we gotta take the whole story.
An entire sentence. All right, so getting back into this. Infinity doing a really good job pressuring Jing. You know, if you had said that to me earlier that Jing would be, you know, meeting people who might give him some trouble after his Fool's performance, I'd been like, nah. But this is Infinity's really bringing it to him.
Yeah, definitely being able to like kind of keep up the pressure, going into the EX afterwards on that. But now on the other side of it, now having to deal with all this pressure from Mitsumi.
Yes.
And one thing I know, Jing has been continuously getting Infinity with these lows, especially when they're like going in from the jump high, going into double overhead into the low or moon drive in the low. That's been working constantly against Infinity.
What's really interesting is how many times they're anticipating those throws, each of them, so their techs are coming in really clutch. We do get the hard knockdown from Infinity. The overhead into the low from Infinity now, and this is going to go ahead and close out the round with that knockdown. Well played by Infinity.
Like very, very nice movement there, switching over to the other side to go into the full combo. All right, catching on the fatal counter. Like, Matt's get out of the way here, just like just make sure like getting an additional meter. Both players have a lot of meter to work with. Infinity has just a little bit more with the moon, like with the moon meter on tap as well.
Okay, we get a knockdown. Okay, shield and then nothing. You know, that's a choice. You don't have to counter after a successful shield.
You got to remember that sometimes you just gotta chill. You just gotta make make it hit its mark there.
Okay. Oh, so shield there, and that time Jing chooses to throw tech over the bento being put out, blocking as many times as you can, and then heat in response to that EX from Saber.
Yeah, realizing all the cancel out there, it's like, no, I'm just gonna keep it going here. Like sets up sets up the dust, uses the shield like you shield after on the heat activation there, was all ready for it. You get the damage from the dust. It is just that's a hard matchup to deal with there.
Right. All right, now we're getting into this. It is 1-1, but Jing is one away from moving on in the winner's side of this bracket. We have some hits. Okay. Some hits. Okay, overhead. shield, and then, oh, that was such a delayed A counter. I want to come back to that
Yeah,
later.
that was a lot of stuff. But yeah, continue.
No, we'll come back to that later. I want to come back to that after this. So now, continuing, good entire full screen combo. Again, cake. I am hungry now.
Okay, like a little bit of an ambiguous switch there goes on on the same side. They're going to get a full combo there. Okay, and that will be it.
All right, so Jane, in a honestly probably the toughest match I've seen him play on stream so far. Yeah, did you see here? He just went, huh.
Yeah.
And Deez has been such a fantastic sportsman throughout this. He's so happy to be here.
Yeah.
They start attacking. Hold on. You're gonna start attacking,
Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving
They start attacking
responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs. We make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs different.
I think they got talking about attacking anime.
Sub. Your choice for just $6.99 each.
Attacking Bloodline.
Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
But then, when they ironed it out, they were about to award me the win. They said, it must be Gandido, so we're going to just say, hey, Ryan, hand raise and victory trophy. And I said, no, we're not going to end like this. We got to run it back. And that's when you got the rematch, so yeah.
Understood. And Gandido, is that pretty much how you had the recollection of it?
Somewhat. I mean, obviously, there's a few details missing around there because the main thing is on a PS3, when you turned on the home button on any other controller, there was a huge drawback because let's say that Ryan takes a PS3 pad right now, he turns on the home button. After that home screen disappears, anybody can control it. And the moment that somebody clicks on home again, the other pad's already disabled and nobody can virtually know who it was. So it took me about, this was like, what, 14 years ago? After some encouragement from him, because obviously there was a whole rip thing. It's just like, oh, you pressed it. No, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start asking some questions. And we finally narrowed it down to like 2 people. And we now know that it was, who was it that came first? Like Aaron? Aaron? That was him. So, shout out to Aaron, wherever it is that you are. Hope you're watching this. And I'll be thinking of you later.
So we got to a point where the Cannon brothers uploaded the replay on YouTube. Yeah. And in the comments, someone said, oh man, that it was Rip. But later on we found out that it wasn't. But for a long while, that was rumored. It was rumored that, oh, Rip pressed the home button because he had his pad connected from a previous game. But, you know, it turned out it wasn't him. So there were so many different stories, you know?
Yeah, it's basically, it had to be somebody that had a pad and anything because there was no desync option. And it's interesting because, like, this incident shaped, tournament regulations going forward for PS3s because then it's like, okay, everybody report to the desync station afterwards until this becomes a thing.
Yeah, and they didn't have user profiles like the PS4 does, so you can tell who was set to who. You just said you couldn't desync the controller like you can on PS4. Like somebody else has to clear out the controller cache and do that.
Exactly. All you needed to do is like you had to actually physically go to another PS3, plug it in. That's it. So they would make a dead station. It was basically a desyncing station, just to avoid that from happening. But I mean, it was a very, very arduous process trying to find out who it was. I'm like, did that help letting it go? I had a barbecue at my place, and some one of my boys brings his girlfriend over, and we're all lit. We're having a great time. This is like maybe 2019 pre-COVID. I'm done flipping burgers, and it's like, oh, by the way, congratulations on your second place at EVO. And you could hear a pin drop because everybody just went like, did this really just happen?
I unfortunately remember a lot of years of people kind of making jokes at your expense about what happened at 2008 EVO, and I'm sure it's a huge sore spot for you. Are you more or less kind of like over it at this point? It's like what happened. I know when the pause happened, you had a ton of momentum in that round, and for those that don't know, we're gonna talk more about Tekken 5 DR when it happens, but it's an incredibly momentum-based game, especially for both of the characters that you play.
To not tag me and just I do name searches on Discord and
I'll
on
keep this
Twitter
on.
on occasion, and I'll be like, aha. See, I knew it. We've been talking about this. But have I let it go? To be fair, it's like yeah, but then every now and then you'll get content creators or something that just want to say what they want to say. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm cool with it.
Cool. It's been 14 years, and you guys have obviously been part of the FGC since. I'm still glad that you guys are still playing games. I know Gandito plays a little bit of Grand Blue. Of course, Ryan plays every.
Let it go. To be fair, it's like yeah, but then every now and then you'll get content creators or something that just want to say what they want to say. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm cool with it.
Cool. It's been 14 years, and you guys have obviously been part of the FGC since. I'm still glad that you guys are still playing games. I know Gandito plays a little bit of Grand Blue. Of course, Ryan plays everything. But I wanted to ask you guys, during this time, since 2008, what do you think about the growth of the Tekken scene? Because, back then when we had our Tekken 7 or Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection tournaments, it was like 200, 300 people. But now we have thousands of people. In this very event, we have over 1,200. What do you guys think about that?
It's hard to hear I couldn't hear the question.
What do you think about like how the Tekken scene grew from like what it is right now?
Got you. Yeah.
You go ahead.
It's incredible. It really is. Like not just EVO, but all the majors around the world. What Tekken World Tour has done to the community, having dojo events that allow smaller upcoming TOs to have a voice and to be seen and relevant. Like it's amazing. And then Tekken 7, they've made a few 2D adjustments with character choice and system changes, which is really cool because you have a larger player base of players that feel welcome, where they might have felt a little bit alienated in the older Tekkens. You come in, you get faced up against top veteran players, you don't have a chance, and so on. But now there are characters that are more fitting for that audience and characters they relate to more. So there, those things.
I think the community just like got an explosion, an insurgent of players in between, like what Ryan just said right now. The Tekken World Tour made things a lot more accessible. There's been so many events, like you've had Rev Major in the Philippines. You've had so many tournaments that have produced so many epic moments. Like when you have the knee and JDCR moments, everything has been extremely welcome. And I entered Tekken 7 at CEO just to just to go for it, and I got washed pretty fast. It is what it is. I am focusing solely on Grand Blue right now, to be fair. It's like, I'm trying to win this, and that's it. Call it quits. Go home, get the first place trophy, retire on top, and that's all there is to it. But this the amount of players that are right now, and they're like, it's not just, before we used to have, like, when you go to the Chinatown Fair in New York, you had like these super scrubs that could wash most people. It's just like, okay, that's what we have now. It's not even that. It's like 2 or 3 steps beyond that. It's just like, oh, you have legacy skill, it doesn't matter. Hold this Negan. Hold this Zafina. Oh, you played T6, it doesn't matter. Completely different ballgame.
Tekken's very true to the loyalists. Like, it changes a bit, but they keep the core fundamentals there. So if you're coming back from Tekken 1 even, there'll be stuff that's still there. Same command input, same tactics, and stuff like that. And then Tekken World Tour, allowing the veterans to be on board, plus the new demographic coming in. I mean, what an amazing thing to have, like, Pakistan get involved. Would we even know about Pakistan if it wasn't for the Tekken World Tour? Do you know what I mean? So it's just such an amazing thing for revamp the entire scene and community.
Yeah, the representation across all over the world right now is absolutely huge. I'm always looking forward to seeing who else is going to come out of the woodwork, because nobody expected Pakistan when they did, and they're here to stay. And it's not just in Tekken, all other games too. So I'm just curious to see and ride this out as much as I can.
Well, I'm sure all 4 of us could keep talking about Tekken for hours on end, but I'm going to give you guys one last chance to your last thoughts on this exhibition, on Tekken in general, any friendly trash talk you want to do before we get this set going, and then we're going to actually get you guys playing. So last words from either of you.
Fast talk?
It's time to fix the timeline.
Wow, okay, I mean... It's best of 5. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, guys, we are going to get started with Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to go right into the match. Hang in there.
All right. All right.
Thanks for watching and supporting EVO 2022. Speaking of support, you should support our monitor and headset partner.
All right.
Sony, the newest brand in gaming gear, providing you top-of-the-line equipment. The InZone
I'm sorry
M9
about
and
the echo
M3
sounds. I really
27-inch
am.
monitors bring you incredible high resolution and high dynamic range pictures and reactive experience
Man.
with 144 Hz and 240 Hz refresh rate. 1 millisecond gray-to-gray response time, variable refresh rate technology, and more. On the audio side, their line of headsets includes the InZone H9,
Bro.
H7, and
Bro,
H3
they are
models
still waiting about
360 spatial
Tekken
sound for
8.
gaming. The
But
line offers noise
freaking
canceling, wired,
Tekken
and wireless options. With
but
dedicated
freaking
QC software
Tekken
for both monitors and
Bloodline
headsets,
Tekken
the
7.
InZone Hub enables
Did they
personalized settings
still
to your
Tekken 7?
optimization.
Did they still playing
Sharpen
Tekken
your
7?
senses with the brand new
Tekken 7 is
InZone
on
products
EVO,
and
right?
Check them out at sony.net/gaming-gear.
Dash up, back throw though, Mochi got called for the corner. Oh, the parry on the drill! Are you kidding me? Oh my god!
Tekken. Oh, I know that guy. I follow Ryo Hashira. You gotta love that guy. Ryo Hashira, that he was a Nintendo gamer, and he fucking was a Yakuza player. He played Yakuza. Played Nintendo all day, and he played a lot of fighting games like Smash and yeah, I fought him since I fought him in stream since he played the demo beta of JoJo Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. Man, I gotta hop onto JoJo Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heavens again, huh? Eddie Gordo? Got Capiora Fighter? Capiora, right? The fighting skill. It's like a martial arts Brazilian dance move. Metal Revolution.
Just a quiet call. You don't remember me.
I wonder where they play.
Recognize that guy.
He was in Mexico.
Tequila? Become. When we get off
Let
this
me
train.
turn this. Let me mute this real quick. No need for trouble. Okay, who's still alive? I'll be right back. They are playing multiverses. Hungry Box. Is Hungry Box and Lepin are there? Maybe they not there. Lord Knight. Bro, I wonder if P4A is on Hulu. It has to be. Can it be? Oh, it showed the trailer for Robot Nepco. Oh yeah, chat. We have to react this. We have to react this what I just missed. We have to react this. Oops. Sorry about that, chat. We gotta react this. where it coming from. Guilty Gear. That's Guilty Gear.
Duel 1. Let's rock. Slap.